Good day, viewers. Once again, you are welcome to Borrow Made Maths Easy tutorials. Today, we are considering the formula method for solving quadratic equation. Formulas are mathematical relations that show the relationship between two or more variables. With formulas, we can solve problems easily. In quadratic equation, we have a formula that can help us to get the values of x or values of any variable that is used in the equation easily. Remember, our general form of quadratic equation is given by ax squared plus bx plus c equals to 0. Where a, b, and c, they are representing numbers, and x is the variable we are looking for. So, the value of x can be obtained using this formula. We can illustrate this using an example. Suppose we are given quadratic equation x squared minus 2x minus 3 equals to 0. How do we apply this formula to get the values of x that will satisfy this equation? The first thing to do is to identify our a, b, and c. Don't forget, a, b, and c are representing the numbers close to x square, x, and the constant respectively. So in this case, our a, which is number close to the square term, is just 1. Our b, number close to x, is negative 2. And our c, which is the constant, is negative 3. So we'll substitute these values in our formula to get the values of x. So our x will now be negative b. So negative, the value of b is itself negative. So we need to open bracket before we substitute the value of our b. Plus or minus the root of b squared, which is negative 2 all square, minus 4 times of a times c. That will be 4 multiply 1 multiply negative 3. We divide by 2 times of a, which will now be 2 times of 1. After substituting these values, the next step is to simplify. Where there are multiplication, we multiply them. Where we have square, we simplify it. So multiplying negative by negative will get positive. So we have positive 2 here. Plus or negative, the root of negative 2 square means negative 2 is multiplying itself 2 times, which will give us positive 4. And of course, here, when we multiply negative 4 by 1, any quantity times 1 is the same quantity. So negative 4, multiply negative 3. Negative, negative will now change to positive. So we'll have positive 12 here. Divide everything by 2 times of 1, which is 2. So our x will now be 2 plus or minus root of the two quantities in the bracket can be added. Adding these two quantities will give us 16. Divide everything by 2. So if we take the root of 16, we'll have the answer as 4 divided by 2. Which means you can observe here that we have two signs, addition or subtraction. What does that mean? It means our x could be 2 plus 4 divided by 2, or x will be 2 minus 4 divided by 2. Don't forget, because in quadratic equation, the highest power of the unknown is 2. We need to have two solutions. That's why we have plus or negative to produce those two solutions. So if we simplify the first expression on the right hand side, we'll have the answer as 2 plus 4, 6. 6 divided by 2 will give us 3. The second term, if we remove 4 from 2, we'll get negative 2. And negative 2 divided by 2 will give us negative 1, which gives us the root of our equation. So if you substitute these two answers in this equation, the left hand side will be 0. Let's consider another example. In this example, our a, which is a number close to the square term, is 3. Our b, number close to s, is 13. And our constant is negative 10. So our s value will now be negative of our b. That will be negative of 13. Plus or negative the root of b squared, that will be 13 squared. Minus 4 multiply a, that is 4 times of 3. Multiply c, our c is negative 10. We divide everything by 2 times of our a, that is 2 multiply 3. After substituting the values, the next thing is to simplify those multiplication and powers, which will give us s equal to negative 13 plus or minus the square of 13 means 13 multiplying itself, which will give us 169. This negative sign that is here, when it multiplies the second negative sign, it will change to positive. So we'll have positive in between. And when you multiply the three numbers, 4 by 3 by 10, you will have the answer as 120. Divide everything by 2 times of 3, which is 6. So our s will now be negative 13 plus or minus. When you sum 169 with 120, you have the answer as 289. Divide by 6. The next thing is to take the root of the quantity here. And root of 289 will give us 17. So plus or minus 17 divided by 6. Don't forget we have plus or minus, which means it's either our x is negative 13 plus 17 divided by 6, or x is negative 13 negative 17 divided by 6. Simplifying the first answer, we'll have negative 13 plus 17, which will give us 4. 4 divided by 6. Or simplifying the second answer, we'll have negative 30 by 6. This fraction can be reduced into simplest form because 2 can divide 4 and 2 can also divide 6. So 2 into 4 will give us 2. 2 into 6 will give us 3. Or when we divide minus 30 by 6, we'll have the second answer as negative 5. So with these two examples, I believe you can solve any quadratic equation using the formula method. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe. See you in the next class.